Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today's video is sponsored by IBM, who has sent me a big package that we're gonna have a look at. I did tell you about that this was coming, that IBM wanted us to have a look at their small business storage solution, and we are here in the winter garden because it's not that small. It came on a mini pallet, and it's heavy. Oh, it's not that heavy, but it's very unhandy. So instead of dragging it through the whole house, I thought, well, we'll put it on the table here and we'll make it a bit smaller. So let's see what this storage unit looks like. And it should be a IBM FlashSystem 5000, and I think it's the 5030, but we will see that when we get in here. Okay, I thought I have to ship this back to IBM when I'm done with it, when I'm done with the showcase and the POC and checking this out. I was hoping to reuse this black plastic, but yeah, it's not gonna be possible. I do wonder what, well, it's kind of like a box on the top here. I do wonder what that is. Or maybe I can just take the black thing here off and still reuse it and give the box it back on like a coupe. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. The winter coat comes off. There we are. It feels rather empty. I have no idea. It might be just so that the box sticks out so that no one can put anything on top of it. But yeah, nothing in this one. Good idea. Okay, the tape, I'm not gonna reuse the tape. I have my own tape. Oh, I'm gonna reuse this as well when I ship it back. So no popping today. So, IBM system. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be able to reuse those. That's a shame. I don't think so. Oh. Nah, it's not worth it. So the box has clearly been in use before, because IBM has this tape they use when they wrap something, and this brown tape is that's the tape you and me buy when we need something. So let's open and see what's inside. I expect it looks like a server with a lot of disks. Don't scratch it. Open sesame. Oh, it comes with rails. Important. Okay, document. Do not discard. I'm not gonna discard anything. Yeah. Oh boy. That's some heavy rails. They didn't cheat out here. Holy. Oh. Spring loaded and stuff. Stay. Okay, yeah, we're surely gonna rack mount this just to see how nice it looks in the rack, right? But for now, this is an entire tray that you can take out and get to the good stuff. Oh, almost another piece of cardboard. There. Ta-da! Oh, there we are. Does this come out? This is probably just cable or a filler cables. Yeah. Very, very, very well packed. I think less would have done it. A big bag of these very nice, yummy things that you shouldn't eat. Okay, it's heavy. I do wonder why this is more heavy than a server. Oh, these comes out. So that makes it easier. It's not as long as a server, it's clearly shorter than a server. And it's not that heavy when you get it out. Okay, I'm gonna clear the table. We should have a good look at this. Here it is set up on the table. And if we look at the drawing here or the picture from the information on it, it looks exactly like it. So these are, there's a whole bunch of 2.4 terabytes. Oh, these are not all flash. These are, oh, very long. Okay. So these are spinning SAS drives, 2.4 terabytes. I told you in a video not very long ago that 2.4 terabytes was about the biggest size you could get a 2.5-inch hard drive without it switching over to SMR. So this drive is not an SMR drive, but a normal drive where you can rewrite data without it having to move large amount of data around every time. It's a storage full of 2.4 terabyte SAS drives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17. That is an odd number. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And these must be cache drives. Just when I pulled... Oh, that was the wrong one. Just when I pulled that first one out, I thought that there was nothing in it because, oh, nothing in it. Whoa. But yeah, here's a 1.92 terabyte SSD. It has a connection on the back. Why does it have a connection on the back? No idea. But IBM storage system made in China. It's a Samsung. Very nice. So this is a complete storage unit. You have some drives, you have some cache. It uses the cache to speed up the storage, and there is of course 24 drives on the front here. We have a little display here. We can't do anything. There is no on and off button on a data system like this. It has a power LED, I guess, somewhere. It has a light tower. How do you activate the light tower then? Maybe you can only activate the light tower from the software. Then it has an exclamation mark if there is something that is bothering it. Around the back is where all the stuff is. It's a redundant solution, so it comes with 2 power supplies. Oh. Rather large power supplies. 12 volt, 62 amps, 800 watts. Okay, I should guess that this doesn't use more than 800 watts then. And there is 2 of those as said, so one can be out of order and we're still good. But of course, if that ever happens, you make sure that it's reported in so you can get that fixed before the other one starts acting up. The reason why you have a redundant solution is normally one of the power supplies is connected to one grid of power and the other one is connected to another grid of power. And so if one of them goes, then you're relying on just one power supply. And normally you want to avoid that. At least in an enterprise environment. If you want to cheap it out, you can have one of the power supplies on a UPS. So if the power goes, well, you're only powering one of the power supplies on the UPS. It doesn't matter when the power goes, but in everyday use, you'll have a little less load on the UPS because normally each power supply supplies about 50% of the power to the unit. So let's say this uses 400 watts. Well, that would be 200 watts here and 200 watts here. So you're only drawing 200 watts through the UPS in normal operation. if the power goes, you're going to be drawing all 400 watts through the UPS, so there's no difference there. Then we have the two controllers on top, and I see that it's controller number 1 and controller number 2, and this marker here says that this is power supply number 1 and this is power supply number 2. So thank you very much. It might actually be my own fault that this is not all flash, because I did ask IBM to get the entry level so that this would be something that as many as possible could afford. I'm not gonna go into the prices, and I don't really know the prices of these. They come at a price point. It's not in the price range where your home NAS is located, but if you look at the high enterprise level NASs, well, we're getting there. We see that we have a management T. I would guess that that's the management port. It doesn't, it says, that's the USB port. I'm not sure what the USB port is for, but there's a T, and I would very much guess that that's the management port. Then there's two 10 gigabit Ethernet connections. I'm guessing that that is network. Then there is SAS ports for external connection of even more. I think these looks rather small. I just have to check that. So I've kind of known that this was coming for quite a while, so I have had time to go and do a bit of shopping and get some extra stuff that we can play with. So I actually bought SAS cables, and I thought that that looked small, but it might be okay. It's probably okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Never mind, it's all good. So the idea is that this is the controller unit, and you can connect other storage units through the SAS connection, so underneath it you can have more storage, and they don't have to have a controller because you have the controller here. Then we have a turn thingy that I'm sure that we're gonna have to figure out what works with. We also have two release thingies here that we might also have to try. Then there is a battery icon. I'm pretty sure that this controller in here, which is of course hardware rate, it has some battery backup, and if there is something wrong with the battery, this is where we know. Probably that one over there is the all okay, and I would guess that if that one lights up, well, we have a battery problem. Then we have 4 16 gigabit FC connections, fiber channel connections. Let's just check what they have put in here. I'm just gonna remove the rubber thing and take the SFP out. Yeah, the marking does not make me very much smarter. I'm a little bit worried that it says 2012. That seems old if that is 16. Could these be 4? I'll go and Google. I Googled it, and it is a 16 gigabit fiber channel SFP plus. I'm actually not sure if they call those plus. 10 gigabit you call those plus. 16 gigabit, I am not sure. Then there is a key here and a hole, and I am not gonna play wise guy and tell you what that is, because I haven't got the faintest idea. Let's see if we can get the controller out. We can. It pops out. This thing. Controller out. Big beefy connections on the back. It looks a bit like a blade server actually. Does it open up? Or what does this do? Figured it out. There's two blue buttons here that you can press, and you could push this back and the LED comes off. And we can kind of see that it's a computer inside. We have a PCI Express port there. We have some RAM over here. It contains, it has two nice 16 gigabyte PC4 RAMs in there. We have the SAS and the network interface there. And the 4-port FC connector is just a PCI Express card that is located here. Underneath that there is an M.2 SSD. I can't see from here if it's an NVMe or if it's just an SSD. It's an SSD, yeah, I can see that. And then we have this battery backup over here. I better not take that out. Maybe it would see that that has been out and start making a mess. It might think that the battery has been replaced or something, so let's not do that. More or less, this is a server, and I'm guessing that it boots, and it has some network This is very much like a LOM card or a daughter board. And then this is the normal PCI Express port. Oh, and actually that thing is to release that, isn't it? We could take it out. I think we have to. I'm obligated to take it out. I couldn't help myself. But yeah, the bracket is a little bit different than we are used to. But other than that, it looks pretty normal. So, not sure who makes these. Pretty cool. Well, we get a better view of the IBM M.2 SSD down here. So yeah, cool. Let's pop that back in. Very well built. It's like a blade server. It's just smaller. So that's the controller. Awesome. And there are two of those. In here we can see the back plane. And there is not much to it. I'm guessing that on one side that's where the controller goes in, and on the other side that's where the hard drives connect. So there is nothing in there that can break. Well, I guess those connections can break, and maybe there's a capacitor and a resistor or something on there. It looks very much like they have tried to not put anything on there at all. The normal thing on a backplane like that, make sure that there is nothing that can break on it. So let's have this controller back in. I am probably not gonna be able to stress this to anywhere near its limits. I don't have fiber channel connections here at my PlayHouse. This runs 16 gigabit fiber channel connections. That means that each of these ports should be able to do about 1.6 gigabytes of data every second, plus minus something. I'm not sure how much overhead and stuff. FC should be better than normal. It's specially made for storage, so they might have some tricks up their sleeves. Okay, I cheated. I googled that. 1600 megabytes per second on each of these connections, and that is about as fast as what you can expect from a kind of a no-name internal NVMe drive, where a high-end NVMe drive would be about the same as the 32 gigabits per second version of the FC connections, and transfer about 3.2 gigabytes per second. That is pretty much what you get out of a Samsung NVMe drive internally, and most often you can only test that up against your RAM, because you often have nothing else that can do those kinds of speeds. So for of those, you can't really bundle these. It's more like if we connected 4 different servers to this. You don't normally do that, you connect it to a switch. But if we connected 4 different servers to this, well, we have 4 servers that could access this, and each of them would have a maximum of 16 gigabits per second. It's not normal to add these up. We might have one server connected to 2. We might be able to get faster transfer speeds if there's a lot of files, but let's say that it's just one big file. Well, then we can only run one. So what I think we should do from here is rack mount it, see if we can get connection to this T port, and start communicating with the management interface. I do wonder how that works. And then connect it to 10 gigabits. That's about the fastest connection that I have here at my PlayHouse, and it's only available in the Datacenter. It's a really nicely built unit, and you can grow these. So you can start by having one, and then you can expand it. You can get other disks for it. You can have another disk shelf beneath it, and the disk shelves are not very expensive. It's a box like this, but the controller is much of the price here. If you get the next one, it will of course have the case and 2 power supplies, but then the controller unit will just be a unit with 2 SAS ports, and you then connect the next unit with a couple of SAS ports and you're good to go. So yeah, this is kind of cool. Oh, don't want it to go on the floor. Oh, stay. But a bit unexpected that they sent one with spinning drives. I thought that it would be SSDs. It does not matter to me. I did ask for an entry level, and that was kind of what I got. So the way this works is kind of like a bit of tiering. It has all these spinning hard drives in there, and the data is located on those. And then if something is needed more than other, well, then it's usually transferred to the SSDs. So the data that is used the most all the time, well, it's stored on SSDs and therefore faster accessible. And the rest here is kind of, well, I wouldn't call it cold storage. It's still online storage. It isn't as fast as if you ask for something that it has put on the SSDs. And it kind of uses an AI system to figure out what goes on SSD and what goes on the spinning drives. And some of these systems can be really smart. So if you access one file, well, it will know that, well, you usually ask for the other file just after that. So it will already go and fetch the other file and make sure that it's available on SSD, so that you will get it faster if you ask for it. And if you don't ask for it, well, no harm was done. I've never seen these fillers. They are longer than usual. Of course they are. I was just looking at those two holes here, and yeah, never seen that before. But yeah, so as said, IBM reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in showcasing this to you. They want to hit the SMB, small to middle-sized business. And they do. Not the smallest business. If you just have one single cafe, I would say this is way overkill. But if you have 5 cafes and web shop and deliver out of the house and manages customers and stuff like that, then you might start looking at something like this, and it can grow with you, and suddenly your business will be Starbucks, and you need a lot more servers and storage at that point. They have this, the very smallest one, then there is a 7000 series and there's a 9000 series. And they just become more and more powerful and faster and less and less affordable. So at that point we're out of the small business and probably also the medium business, well, maybe the large medium business, but then we are at the high business. I know that where I work we were looking at the 9200 series of this. Yeah, we were looking. So I will leave a couple of links below where you can go and check this out and maybe find all the facts that I didn't know about, and you can call me an idiot in the next video that I didn't know that this can do this and that and that and this. Hopefully we're gonna get it up in the rack and I'm gonna be able to access the management interface of it, and we can go and see some storage. That would be awesome. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see how this IBM flash storage solution is gonna work out for us. I have it until the 7th of December, then IBM wants it back, so they kind of like it too. I can't keep it. Christmas is coming, IBM. Have a nice day. Bye bye.